Hello, this is the RPG Crawler, and welcome back to my RPG News Roundup, this time for May 25th, 2024, where each week I take a look back at the week in tabletop, computer, and console role-playing game news and bring you the highlights. As always, we will start with computer and console role-playing game news. It looks like Kingdom Hearts is getting a release on PC through Steam on June 13th. This will include 3 entries into the Kingdom Hearts series. There are compilation entries. There's Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5. Kingdom Hearts 2.8, and then Kingdom Hearts 3, and I'm not going to go into the subtitles on those because they're ridiculous. Then Sunnyside is getting its PC release delayed. It'll apparently be slated to release on June 14th now. It's kind of a mix of farming sim, social sim, combat exploration, and so forth. The Legend of Heroes Kai no Kaseki Farewell O Zemuria is set to release in Japan on September 26th, targeting the PS4 and the PS5. No word yet on a Western release, although given the track record, I would not be surprised if there was one, maybe sometime next year. Card and Seal is set to release on October 24th, targeting the PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X/S, as well as the Switch, and the PC as well. It is apparently a roguelike deck-building RPG. Apparently, Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus will be getting a sequel, Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus 2. More information will need to be forthcoming in the future, although it should allow you to play either the Necrons or the Acolytes of the Omnissiah, and will be a strategy turn-based RPG. Songs of Conquest saw its official release out of Early Access. It is a turn-based tactical strategy game, RPG, in the style of the old Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Apparently, it's pretty decent. Crown Wars, The Black Prince, saw its release. It is a turn-based strategy game with RPG elements where you build a castle and then lead your troops to battle against the forces of evil. Wizardry, Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord, saw its full release. It is a remake of the old dungeon crawler from the 80s that includes new graphics and a new interface built on the old actual game engine, and it looks like it's been in early access for a little while now. It has seen a price increase upon its release, and I'm not sure if that was a wise idea because it was increased to a fair amount. However, it is apparently very good. I'm actually kind of hoping it does well, so they may be able to do the whole Ligament series. It kind of inspired me to go back and play the original Wizardry series recently. I started playing it on my own time. I probably should have recorded it, but I'm not particularly good at it, so it wouldn't have made a very good playthrough. Anyway, CD Projekt Red has released RedKit, a modding tool for Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt. It is available for PC owners of the game. Whichever platform you have, it should be interesting. Yeah, I never did finish the Witcher series either. I should probably look into that. I started playing the first one and then kind of petered out. Anyway, as far as more minor releases go, Captain Stew saw its release as a 2.5D platformer with action RPG elements set into early access where you wander around a Caribbean setting defeating enemies and try to battle pirates and monsters. War of Zanzor 3, Birth of Unity is more of a traditional turn-based RPG. 2 warring nations have had their long-running war interrupted by an unknown force, and you have to set out to navigate the tensions between the nations and figure out what is going on. Margok's Lair is a roguelite dungeon crawler where you navigate through a dungeon with a twin-stick shooter-style approach and generate new effects with different spell combinations. Conqueror of Time is more of a traditional roguelike with permadeath, sort of a dungeon crawler, although there is a time travel theme to it. It has a very retro-style pixel graphics look. Terra Randoma is yet another turn-based roguelike, this time with more slightly semi-3D modern look. You develop your character with whatever skills you find, take on various talent stones and randomized items, and it has a overworld section, so you can be questing through the actual world. Finally, there is Little Known Galaxy, a sort of casual farming sim-style RPG where you are the captain in training and find an ancient relic on a planet full of various characters. It has crafting, farming, exploration, and so on. With that, we're going to take a look at tabletop role-playing game news. We'll start with a new hardcover set to come out from Wizards of the Coast called Dungeons & Dragons, A World and Realms Adventures from Greyhawk to Faerun and Beyond. It covers various settings that went into the canon of Dungeons & Dragons with lore, storylines, that sort of thing across the various D&D multiverse. It's not geared towards stats and rules, but rather just for lore. It looks like it'll drop on October 29th. There's also some developments on the D&D 2024 being released into the SRD. I'll have to look up the details on that, but I'm gonna be more interested in that when they actually follow through and release some of the older editions on SRD, or at least into the Creative Commons. Onwards towards minor and PDF releases, Samurai Sheepdog has Names Games 2020 Annuals, which covers their Pathfinder 1st Edition and 2nd Edition material from 2020. Siege Cruise is a Pathfinder 2nd Edition compatible supplement that covers siege weapons and how to use them in encounters. AAW Games has a collection of mini dungeon entries, once again, each one suited for a 5th level or a 5th edition party with varying levels, each one being a short dungeon focused adventure. There's the mini dungeon number 306, The City on the Sun, number 307, Lyman Lock, number 308, What Hums of Madness, number 309, Trees and Plot, number 310, Temple of the Waning Moon, and number 311, Icklesworth Lost. Westbright Creations has a couple of 5th edition adventure modules as well. They have Cult of the Crimson King and The Great Truffle Hunt. The Winding Woodlands is a 5th edition adventure for level 1 to 3 characters, suited as a one-shot that deals with a small town plagued by bizarre disturbances from a nearby forest. The House on Dimbury Lane is a haunted house horror adventure for first level 5th edition characters. It deals with a soap merchant who has died after going mad and left his house behind, and there may be something in the house that causes madness. Bob World Builder has a battle-ready stat blocks 5th edition Essential Fantasy Monsters collection. It is a collection of 46 monster stat blocks made for low-level fantasy RPG monsters for 5th edition by replacing underused information with descriptions, simple attacks, group attacks, loot, and so on. Ebethan Game Designs has a couple of 5th edition adventures. There's Love After Death, as well as The Hunt for Firebelly. Argus Arcane Companion offers a new wizard subclass for 5th edition, actually a few of them. There's the School of the Beast, School of the Blade, School of Diabolism, School of Summoning, as well as a few feats and spells. Loot the Body is available in print and is a collection of over 4,000 items that can be found in monsters' pockets and remain suited for when your characters loot them and want to find something more than just a few coins. Urban Potion Compendium is actually a system-agnostic collection that serves as a reference for foraging and potion making in fantasy games. The Painter's Muse is a Shadow Dark adventure for level 1 characters that deals with somebody who has gone missing while entering an art studio of an eccentric painter. Letters from the Dark, Volume 5, Hell to Pay, is a Shadow Dark supplement that deals with signing a deal with the devil. It includes a devil-focused adventure, a mega dungeon set in Hell, a new class rules for the Land of Devils, a new system to sell your soul, and so forth. Life Paths is a Shadow Dark supplement available in print that offers a way to provide mechanical and narrative adventures while designing characters' backstories. Tacitus Publishing has a few offerings from their Chronicles of Baladros campaign setting, this time for Castles and Crusades. There is Beneath the Reeds, as well as Petals of Splendor. I believe both of these were produced for 5th edition prior, or I don't know about 5th edition. I think it was like 3.5, maybe 5th edition. Anyway, now they're available for Castles and Crusades. Basic Wilderness Encounters for Old School Essentials is exactly what it says on the tin, an offering for OSR games such as Old School Essentials that includes thoughts, ideas, and alternatives for random encounters, as well as a list of 1,000 random encounters with a line for each suited for different types of terrain. I believe something like 100 in each, maybe. Anyway, The Goblin Ruin is a World Without Numbers compatible adventure. This serves as a follow-up from the Cave of Woe. Ave Nox is a system-agnostic mega dungeon dealing with various forgotten histories and disasters buried deep within the earth. Menace of the Grave Wardens is a dungeon adventure suited for Green Ronin's Fantasy Age system. It is designed for 5th level characters. Cults of RuneQuest, The Lunar Way, is a player's guide to the lunar pantheon of gods. It includes 15 cults, most of which are playable for the first time, although a few are just redos of existing ones, including one from the core rulebook. Thrice Fantasy is available in print and is a flexible tabletop role-playing game suited for fantasy settings using the Thrice engine. The Thrice engine itself is designed to provide an adaptable tabletop RPG framework that can accommodate various genres. Thundered Isles is an expansion for Ironsworn Starforged that offers new character options, new world-building exercises, tools, and random tables for nautical adventures. Knights of Glencarrig is an RPG inspired by pulp comic strip adventures and other modern Arthurian media. I think I know which one they're talking about. It is incredibly brief with a 2-page rule summary, character creation with 7 paths, a fast task resolution system, as well as an Arthurian setting in Glencarrig. Probably mispronouncing that, but I mean it's Welsh, so what can you expect? Gawain is powered by the Apocalypse role-playing game, also based on Arthurian knights. This one based on the poem Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. Sodard is a core rulebook role-playing game dealing with a mercenary company in the 13 to 1400s during the 100 Years' War. It includes a D10-based mechanic and is a historically researched setting. Kamigakari, Machine God of Damocles, is an expanded setting for the Kamigakari series system, which offers 3 new ancestries, a few new pre-made scenarios, new talents, weapons, and so forth. Musketeers vs. Cthulhu is a setting book that combines 3 Musketeers-style high adventure with the Cthulhu mythos. Known Unknowns is a Cthulhu Eternal scenario dealing with 1950s Australia during the Cold War. Mongoose has the Fifth Frontier War flashpoints for the Traveler system. It deals with the Zodani occupation of Utoland, where the Travelers must find a spaceship deep within occupied territory. The Cepheus engine sociocultural generator includes a way to generate cultures with behaviors, foundations, standards, and so forth for worlds using that system. Finally, Renegade Game Studios has a set of offerings for their licensed properties for Essence 20. There is Transformers, the role-playing game Decepticon Direction of a source book that offers character roles, options, new gear, locations, and a mission for Decepticons. There is Transformers role-playing game The Enigma of Combination sourcebook that offers character options, new gear and material for running a Combiners campaign of Transformers where you can join with each other, I guess. That's the kind of Transformer they're doing. Anyway, then there's the G.I. Joe role-playing game for Ferocious Fighters, Factions in Action, Volume 1, which offers a couple of major and minor factions, some new threats, vehicles, influences, etc. for the G.I. Joe system. And now, let's take a look at crowdfunding campaigns. Remember that contributing to a crowdfunding campaign should be done only at your own risk. Doing so is no guarantee of receiving a product. Mentioned here is not an endorsement, but is for informational purposes only. And once again, I saw a few computer and console role-playing game crowdfundings that were interesting. There's Lorne, the base-building action RPG that looks like it takes inspiration from things like Breath of the Wild and so forth. It'll include things like parkour, archery, magic, the ability to climb various monsters, and so forth. Then RP7 looks to be a slot-based roguelike where you roll each step using various buttons instead of controlling a character directly. Venus Blood Ragnarok International will be an English localization of a RPG, I think it's an SRPG visual novel, currently available in Japanese. Onward towards tabletop crowdfunding, Pathfinder 2 Epic looks to be a guide to various epic level play, including 8 class upgrades, various epic archetypes and monsters to challenge them for the Pathfinder 2nd Edition system. Laidback DM is funding Shot Glass Adventure as a one-shot 2x2, another entry into the 5th edition one-shot series. This one will include 2 Shot Glass Adventures with both 5th edition and OSR stats. There is a Dead in a Lost Stand and All in the Family. The Mine of Vile Echoes looks to be a 5th edition adventure that seems to be inspired by The Thing, this time setting up something similar in a Dwarven diamond mine. It is suited for third level or for 3rd to 5th level characters. Salt and Sorrow looks to be a 5th edition one-shot adventure in a fantasy world, complete with epic fights, bizarre weapons, and so forth, in a desert-based area where you're looking for a mystical salve. Iskander Adventures Volume 1 will be a collection of 5th edition adventures from MT Black, including 5 Tier 1 adventures from the world of Iskander. €1 3x3 D&D one-shots by El Torre looks to be a collection of 3 one-shots for 5th edition. That'll be priced about €1, apparently. This will include Giraffes and Barrels of Rum, the Krondarek Castle, and Tuldamand Cave. Ham Over Fist looks to be an adventure for 5th edition as well as 0 edition OSR systems that has you dealing with a village known for its ale, sausages, and its festival where something looks to disrupt the festivities. Battle Cry looks to be a 5th edition adventure set in a gladiatorial arena. It looks to be an entry into the Penny Blood Adventure series. Beneath the Big Top will be a 5th edition compatible 3-part adventure set in a circus. It'll also include a circus compendium with material for running them. Kraken Crazy Crawfish looks to be a 5th edition Cajun style one-shot adventure. It deals with something that is going around killing all the crawfish near a town that needs your help. And Devabhoomi looks to be a tabletop RPG setting inspired by ancient India. I'm probably mispronouncing that, I apologize. It seems like they're going to be trying to set it for 5th edition as well as Pathfinder 1st and 2nd edition, although since it's inspired by ancient India, it's more setting book, it should be widely compatible. Ereven's Guide to Death and Beyond looks to be a 5th edition campaign setting. It will be a 350-plus page tome with creatures, undead races, grafting mechanics, and necromancy set after a total party wipe. Cinematic Dueling tries to be an alternate set of rules for 5th edition meant to bring the drama of single combat from fiction to the screen to the tabletop. Crafting Worlds for GMs Volume 2 looks to be a 5th edition guide with maps, adventure hooks, new enemies, magic items, and so forth set on the continent of Eloria. 100 Feats and Backgrounds for 5th edition will be a supplement that supports various options for character customization. It seems like it'll include various feats and backgrounds inspired by history. Mistmoor will be a fantasy horror campaign setting. This one's system neutral, so it can be suited for things like Easy D6, Shadow Dark, and so forth. It'll include plot hooks, mysteries, threats, and so on. Legends of Seer Null, Isles of Mists will be a second installment of a Dragonbane set of modules. Striga will be an exploration-based fantasy RPG where you delve into various ruins in a collapsed lost city. It'll focus on exploration, problem-solving, and creativity. Neon Sky looks to be an alternate cyberpunk style tabletop RPG. It's from Wilox Armory, although Wilox Armory is known for doing miniatures and such. It will mostly be focused on like theater of the mind type stuff. It'll include new rules, new setting, and a kind of new take on the genre. Finally, there's Echoes of the Rogue AI, which will be a one-shot adventure for Starfinder. This has been a relatively short little roundup. I'm going to wrap things up here. This has been the RPG Crawler, my RPG News Roundup for May 25th, 2024. As always, links will be below. Remember to leave a like if you like what you've seen, comment if you've got any feedback, and subscribe for more RPG content. Also, I'd like to wish everybody a reflective Memorial Day weekend, especially to them. It's going to be Memorial Day up here in the United States, so take care. Take care of yourself. Until next time, take care and goodbye.
And if you are still watching, I would like to take the opportunity to thank my supporters, the top tiers of which are listed on the screen, without whose support I would not have been able to offer the variety of content that I have on this channel throughout the years. If you're feeling particularly generous and would like to join them, you can support the channel. There are a variety of options to do so. I have a Patreon, a Subscribestar, as well as channel memberships enabled. If you are not in a position to contribute, simply leaving a like, a comment, or sharing my videos are all wonderful ways to help the channel grow without spending a dime, and are all greatly appreciated.